Hi everyone, this is Nihansh. I'm the lead for corporate development at KRAFTON India. Uh, I am going to be talking about the Indian investment environment in this session. So I want to sort of keep it from a session perspective. I'll probably speak for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then I want to keep the rest of the time for Q&A. We in Crafton are big believers in the India investment market from a gaming perspective, and as well as media entertainment. We invest in gaming and we invest in media entertainment as well. To give you just a short overview, the global gaming industry is expected to generate about 200 billion of revenue by 2025. Uh, and the Indian gaming market out of that is expected to hit around 3.5 billion of revenue this year. This is expected to grow to about 7.5 billion by FY28. So there's a huge amount of growth that a lot of investors are expecting from the Indian market, dollar mark, and increasing above it. That people have a lot more disposable income, and they spend more on entertainment sources, and that's when the gaming market really explodes. This has been the experience in multiple markets globally, which have seen very fast increase in per capita income. And we expect that the same thing will happen in India as India grows and becomes a more of a developed nation. So that's generally about the sector. We have also seen that uh, gaming companies in India are focusing a lot on Indian content, and Indian users are also liking this content very much. But we believe there's much more scope for building more Indian content in media entertainment and in gaming. And we have been at the forefront of that by trying to build Indian elements in our recently released game called Road to Valor Empires, where we started an Indian faction and we co-built it with our Korean teams and Indian teams sitting together in order to bring the best practices from Korea and to bring the knowledge of Indian stories and mythology and fuse them together to create a great product. So we could continue doing that in multiple other games. Another game we launched very recently is a game called Garuda Saga, which also employs similar practices to create a best-in-class product. So we are going to continue to bring the best of content globally to India and to try and create Indian content uh, in a way that gamers appreciate it, they find it fun, they enjoy playing it. Talking about our investments in India, we have invested around 150, $160 million already in India. And in August 2023, we also mentioned that we would invest more, $150 million more in startups in the next 2 to 3 years. And we are on track for that. We are very active investors in the content space in India, not just gaming, but also areas around gaming like esports, creator economy, uh, and other areas in the content space which are not necessarily related to gaming, but which are a very important source of entertainment or content to Indian consumers. We also expanded our scope of investment to look at SaaS and deep tech companies in India, and we are looking at how we can invest in various companies in this space, which have synergies with gaming and which can help improve the gaming and the media entertainment market in India. Aside from that, we have also started various initiatives to help gamers in India. We have started a program called the KRAFTON India Gaming Incubator, which helps young startups to to which have not sort of published their first game to learn more about how they can publish better, how they can get more users, how they can build elements into their games to improve the retention, their monetization, and various other features. We got some of the best global talent in gaming, some of the best mentors in the gaming industry as a part of this program, and they are helping us mentor all these young startups. Some of them are from Crafton, some of them are from outside Crafton as well. So we've got probably one of the best incubation programs that we've developed specifically for India by identifying what are the needs and the requirements of Indian gaming companies, and trying to build on that and trying to deliver that to the Indian gaming companies. So far, we have announced a financial support of around 50,000 to $150,000 for all these companies. But the goal is essentially less of a financial assistance, more on helping build the game, getting best practices on building uh, games globally and transmitting them and helping Indian gamers and gaming companies understand those. These selected companies will also receive access to Krafton's internal resources, including data analytics, market research, and other of those kind of things to build their products. We believe that the best games for the Indian market will come from this incubator program, and we will also discover studios which are building global games, uh, uh, and we will see a lot more Indian studios penetrating global markets through this program. Uh, Aside from that, I think we have also been very active in launching new games in India. I already talked about Road to Valor Empires, which was a launch that we did last year. We also launched a couple of more titles like Defense Derby, which is a tower defense game, which is almost the first of its kind game in India. And this year we launched Garuda Saga, which is a fantasy roguelike mobile game, which was published by Krafton exclusively in India, filled with Indian themes, characters, and storylines. Uh, this year, we have also officially launched Bullet Echo just today, which is a multiplayer PvP tactical top-down shooter game. And this game features four Indian themed skin for heroes. It's a global game, but we have customized it for the Indian market as well. And this is another step in our efforts to bringing localized and culturally relevant gaming experiences for Indian users. I encourage you to try and download this game to play it, to enjoy it, because uh, it has been one of the best games that I have played in the recent years, and I'm already playing it almost half an hour every day. So I would encourage you to try this game, and please let us know what you think of it in comments, and we will try to improve it as much as we can. So I would say that's essentially what I wanted to talk about. It's already 12:20, so I've already spoken for about 10 minutes. I wanted to sort of open it for Q&A so that uh, we can answer much more questions from users. So I think there's a question around how do you feel the Indian government has aided or promoted the gaming ecosystem? I think uh, it is still early days in the gaming ecosystem. Obviously, government support is very important. And in many other major geographies, government support has been a crucial part of um, uh, how the gaming ecosystem has improved. I think because it is very new in India, I think for now the government is uh, still trying to figure out ways in which they can support the gaming ecosystem. But we expect that there'll be more initiatives from the government to support the gaming ecosystem. I think there's a question about what specific trends and developments in the Indian gaming industry make it an attractive investment opportunity currently. My answer to that question would be that uh, probably it is the most attractive market from a demand perspective. That their Indian users are hungry for content. There's a huge young population that is open to new. So I would say that there's a huge user base that is hungry for good games, and they have not been given a lot of access to a lot of quality games that they enjoy playing. So for a gamer, I would say this is the ultimate test market where customers will try anything, customers will try a lot more new things. So if you want to try something out, you can you know experiment with the Indian user, and the Indian user will give you a good response if your game is good. So from an opportunity, and from the supply side to actually build games, again it's a very new market. So there's a huge amount of it really. And if you're able to, or if you're able to help Indian companies execute well and build quality games, the sky's the in the Indian market, because the Indian user is a young user. For them, it's not about, oh, I'm a gamer, I play games. I'm not a gamer, I don't play games. You can think of it this way, that watching a movie and gaming are both potential sources of entertainment, and they will choose something uh, for gaming companies. I think there's a question on how do you assess the potential for growth and profits within the Indian market compared to other regions globally. Uh, I would say India is primarily a growth market right now. So the profits will have to be more long term. You have to think of it in a more long term manner because India is a very young market right now. So a lot of preferences of Indian gamers, what Indian gamers like, what kind of content they enjoy more, is still being discovered, I would say. So the path to profits is not really straightforward right now, but growth is something that is amazing in India. That there's a huge potential for growth. So for an investor, the way they have to think about it is that India is going to be a very strong growth market, but profits will take some time to get established as the Indian user moves up the per capita chain ladder and starts spending more on games. And at that time, any company which has spent more resources in discovering the potential interests of the Indian user, the preferences of the Indian user, they will have a definite advantage. So it's that advantage that you have to invest for and play for right now in order to generate profits in the future. Could you elaborate on the regulatory landscape surrounding gaming in India? So I think the regulatory landscape is still evolving. Government is has seen India has seen about forums. I think they want. Yeah. So I think the Indian government has talked about it in multiple forums that and indulging in practices that are detrimental to the Indian user over the long term. They generally don't want to interfere too much in gaming. And I'm talking mostly about free to play games or real money games because real money gaming part is look very different. Keep it as open as, including the Prime Minister very recently in his interaction with Indian gamers, talked about how uh, the government wanted to encourage more gamers, encourage gaming more, and wanted to keep it as free of regulation as possible. But larger regulatory framework is still evolving. So I think it will evolve as uh, you know uh, time goes by. We expect that it will be favorable to creativity, to gamers, because that's where the young India is, right? They enjoy playing games, and that can also be a large advantage in the global market in terms of esports that Indian gamers have done very well in. Uh, so we expect that it will be positive regulation, and yeah, that's essentially what. Uh, How do you feel Indian gamers treat BR titles like BGMI differently than Krafton's games with India exclusive themes like Road to Valor and Garuda Saga? So I would say that it's not that they treat it differently. It's just that this is a format that they enjoy more because of various reasons. Battle Royale is a format that they have proven to enjoy more. So just like battle royale is a format that they enjoy, there are other formats that they will enjoy, which have not been discovered yet. Battle royale has been discovered not because you planned it, like this is a format that Indian users will enjoy, but it's just that when battle royale games were launched, they became very popular, and that's how you understood that Indian users enjoy this, right? And this is true of globally as well, right? Globally, also nobody knew that battle royale was going to be such a big success. So similarly, Indian users' preferences are still being discovered. So what we are doing is experimenting with different game genres and trying to get many different game genres into the Indian market, so that the Indian user is exposed to it, and then we can figure out what their likes and dislikes are. So while obviously some of these new titles may not have done become as popular as the BR titles, uh, and by the way, they're doing better than we expected as well. So it's not like they're not doing well at all, but they're obviously not doing as well as the BR titles. But we expect that when we launch more games, more genres in the Indian market, we will discover more preferences of Indian users beyond just BR, and that's the agenda behind publishing more games in the Indian market. I hope that answers the question. Okay, I think there are no more questions as such. So I think I can conclude this session. Please feel free to get in touch if you have any more questions separately as well, offline as well. I'll be glad to sort of answer and interact. For now, I think this was my session, and I hope this was informative for you as to what global companies are thinking uh, in the Indian market, and it helped people who are not in India right now to understand better how global companies in the Indian market think of the Indian market. But please feel free to get in touch in case you have any more questions. Thanks a lot. Thank you.